I just finished watching Korashime, and your thoughts on who the actual villains are may be completely different from mine. What's up guys, Funari Lover 47 here, and welcome to Watching for the Plot. What I essentially do is stroll through the catacombs of the darkest parts of the internet to find animated erotic videos and then criticize them on the internet because no one wants to hear me talk about it in the real world. But if you do, subscribe for more. Today, I'm reviewing Korashime. This one is quite intriguing because of the fact that it has an extremely passive character who is nothing but a pushover in every sense of the word that turns into, well, the Joker. Kayama is a professor at a school he hates, teaching students who do not respect him, and has these eerily PTSD-like flashes while talking during his monologue. And the moment I saw it, I was already put on edge.
友達なんか一人もいないんじゃないの？もしかして童貞？
お前らが俺を嫌うように、俺だってお前らが嫌いだ。教師なんて仕事も嫌いだ。でもな、世の中なんて思うようにはいかないんだよ。
Now, what do I mean when I say the true villain would be subjective? Let's find out in episode 1. In this unnamed school, students just do not respect any sort of authority at all. And by that, I solely mean Kayama, since he is literally one of the two only adults working on this campus. At the end of the school day, he sees a student named Maki that is going into the principal's office. And she notices Kayama is staring her down, so she knows that he knows what she's about to do. Yup. She's going to impress the principal. Kayama spots two boys peeping through a window for some odd reason, so he respectively asks them to leave. But the boys know that he's a pushover, so they say, hey man, let's keep it a secret. And lo and behold, it is a lesbian couple having sex that they're looking at in the locker room. And all three of them just sit there and watch a couple go at it for a while. Well, until... And guess who gets the blame for that? Now, obviously, if this were the real world, that man would be in jail. Rightfully so. But since there are literally only two adults on this entire campus, all the backlash he ever receives is gossip throughout the high school. And to be honest, let's be honest here, that's an excellent consolation prize because they already hate him, so they would have believed it anyway, even if it was a lie. After that, Miki, Maki's sister, is enamored by this man and asks for his advice since she's interested in physics as well. And while she's doing that, she happens to twist a dagger in his back about the fact that everyone believes he's a peeping Tom. They were going at it in broad daylight. Hey, I'm not taking Kayama's side here. He was stupid for staying the entire time. But come on, there are full-fledged Kumers going at it in the locker room. After talking to the only good student according to him in the entire school, Maki, you know, the black-haired one, confronts him and is trying to persuade Kayama to change her grade from a B to an A. And Kayama was not hesitating at all. He did at first. He said, well, hey, you know, a lot of students, they didn't do so well at this, so this is a pretty good grade. And she wasn't having it. She wanted an A, you know, and after that, he's like, well, fine. I guess we have to, you know, just whatever you're suggesting, dude, I guess. And if he did not receive a call at that exact moment, he would have fell for Maki's temptations. Now, what was the phone call?
Hi, Kayama です。はい。はい。本当ですか？松岡先生の研究室、14日から。はい、ありがとうございます。詳しいお話はまた後ほど。
Aw, white people happy. Kayama is going to teach at a college that he has been interested in, and he will transfer there a week from that call. Finally, something going good for him. It only took about half the episode for it to happen. So after hearing that great news, Maki is fuming for some reason. Apparently, she does not want Kayama to have anything going his way at all. So it's a clear sign that she's vindictive, controlling, and frightening. So in order to take away the only positive thing that has ever happened to this man in his entire adult life, she plots to take a group of girls, drug him, take pictures of his naked unconscious body, and slander him by spreading those said pictures all over the school. Yeah, things turn dark pretty fast. And I don't even know what mental gymnastics you have to take to justify even going through this. Because in my eyes, to do something that extreme, it has to come from some form of like revenge. You know, if you're going to go that hard on someone, you need to have a reason for it. Maki's only reason is because he wouldn't give her an A on a paper that no one got above an A- on. Like, are you smoking rocks, dude? What's going on? So the next day at school, Kayama is none the wiser that Maki and her crew has spread those lecherous photos of him naked all over the place, and he is chomping at the bit because the students are acting much colder than usual. So after the entire day is done, he decides to ask what in the world is going on. And well...
何かあったのかな。俺には思い当たる節がないんだけど。
これ相当な数出回ってるみたいですよ。
こんな卑劣なことが、悪意に満ちたことが許されていいのか。あいつらには懲らしめが必要だ。やってやる。
Yep, he is cracked. Completely broken. Now he is hell-bent on getting revenge on all 4 of those girls who ruined his reputation. Well, whatever modicum amount of reputation he had anyway. So what happens next is a montage of him going hacker mode, taking pictures of all these girls in exposed positions. You know, since they are deplorable human beings that have done evil doings, they must be brought to justice. So in Kayama's eyes, his form of justice is pure on violating them in every sense of the word. In most cases, it's through blackmail and in turn violating them because he has said blackmail, like Jitaku Kaibin. For this very first one, again, the girl's unnamed here, he pulls up to her and says, hey, I know your father's an extremely rich businessman, a CEO. His rival companies would sure love to have your lecherous photos now, wouldn't they? And she's like, please don't do this. Come on, please, dude, you're a grown-ass man. Stop, please. He's like, no, you ruined my life. I'm going to get revenge. And he does exactly that. And after that first episode, before we go to the second one, because the answer will be obvious by the time the second one happens, but who really is the villain here, folks? Kayama or the Kanker sisters? Episode 2. If for some odd reason you still don't believe me when I say Kayama has become Jokerfied, watch this.
あんな卑劣なこと、あんな悪意に満ちたことが許されていいのですか。僕の名誉は彼女たちによってひどく傷つけられた。彼女たちには罰が必要だ。
Yeah, he's having a villainous monologue in his own head to himself. So after shoving a golf club side of the unnamed victim, he's on to his next target, Arase. Now, this one is going to be extremely easy to blackmail because of the fact that she is polishing doorknobs for $50 in the broadcast room. But wait, there's more. She apparently is one of those save my virginity for marriage, but gives every part of her body away types of woman. The same type that would stand you up for a date they agreed on 2 weeks ago just to fuck your best friend and leave you alone at the movie theaters for hours. And so Kayama confronts her, also lets her know that her boyfriend is cheating on her, and then tortures her as well. After that, Mickey talks to him about physics again, and once she finds out he's about to leave, she starts crying. Sad girl hours. After that meeting, Maki, you know, the one that started this entire Jokerification process, is confronted by this entire gang of girls, and they are basically telling her that this is your fault that they all got assaulted, because her plan was a bit too successful, and it resulted in Kayama snapping and assaulting every single one of them. Right when they leave, guess who arrives? So at this point, he has routed the entire group, he has exacted his revenge, and the show should be over, right? Nope, there's still like 5 minutes left. So Maki comes home devastated after quite possibly the worst day of her life, and relatable content incoming. Have you guys ever had a terrible day and you just want to go home, de-stress, relax, and try to reset all the trauma that happened to you? Well, that's exactly what Maki was expecting. But unfortunately for her, that is not the case.
お姉ちゃん、これはどういうこと？お姉ちゃんの字でしょ。どうしてこんないたずらを？説明して。
After seeing her battered and bruised sister, she decides to see if all these claims were true. Because what Maki dropped in Mickey's lap was basically everything that happened. You know, that all the girls in her group got violated. So she confronts Kayama, and for some reason, Sachi's chilling in his office after hours, like at pitch black dark. So that's a bit off. Mickey, don't you think you should dip? Why would a student be in a professor's office after hours at like pitch black night? There's no reason at all for that to be a thing. Like, that is a ginormous red flag. So they talk, and Sachi is like, well, I'm sure he had his reason to violate her. He's such a tender person. Again, another huge flag. However, they point out to the fact that Mickey has drank Sachi's tea. And immediately after that, Mickey's like, wow, Kayama's taking his time to show up. And then Sachi's like, yeah, sure is taking his time. And then Mickey's like, what? And then Sachi says, oh, the medication I put in your tea that's taking a while to kick in. And then boom, Mickey gets drugged. Kayama pops up out of nowhere with his side chick Sachi on his side and says, this could have all been quiet, but you had to bring it back up, so I have to punish you. And then the series ends. So again, folks, I ask you, who really is in the wrong? A few teenagers who have no sense of foresight, or a grown man who is going to do this sooner or later? I know it's a tough question, so I'll let you ponder about that for a moment. Alright guys, I don't have an outro, but if I did, it wouldn't matter because no one makes it this far into the video. Good night.